Hey there. I'm just catching up on stream and I just saw the news about Anthony Head. Mm. I'm also glad that there is no fire at your apartment, Kat. How are we doing? Hey there. Let me just scroll up again so that you can read the rest of the warnings. By the way, I have not watched a trailer, I have not looked this game up, I just bought it, I have no idea what this is about. I'm going in more blind than I usually am, and I'm excited. Oh good, you finished with the grading, that's good. Make the cat stop fighting. Have you tried water? Settings? No. Yeah. I think they're hungry. Give them food then, they have not been fed in years. I believe. The slap fights are hilarious. Yes, slap fights are always good. Yeah, let's wake up. Warning, this game deals with mature subjects and may not be suitable for all players. Please see our content warnings on the system menu for a detailed list of themes and events. I had them up for a while. Yeah, we're starting with a fire, that's okay. You wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke. Fire! Your head is pounding, you must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here, or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Hey there! Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Well, that's very on theme with our fire alarm, yeah. But this one does have a fire. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. What's going on, or climb out? Remember what I told you earlier was the one thing I wanted to do before the stream? Yes? Didn't you? Oh no. What's going on? You try to speak, but the words come out jumbled. Your throat seizes around the lungful of choking smoke, and you feel dizzy and confused. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Oh, Doggo. You did say specifically that you wanted to do that because afterwards you don't have time. Feel free at any point to stop watching stream so that you can have that shower. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like from Earth? Never mind! The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. Maybe when we're into gameplay and something boring happens for a while, maybe that will be a time? A doggy for sure, yes. I was a teenage exocolonist. You are born on the stratospheric Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4 in the hope they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you Solana, Solane, something else. Solanacia? Solanacia. I don't know. Those parents have pronouns for sure. Something else? No, we're choosing the name. Do we go with one of the old stables? Or do you want something specific here? Like maybe Solano? Or just Sol? Or Solace, heh, because it has Ace in it. Helios? Helios seems like... Two people have mentioned Helios as a name. Sol and Helios are also nice. Solace was just my brain fart, but I'm glad that that people like it. Okay, Solace it is. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination. Sometimes too active, your mum says. Use the sliders on the left to choose pronouns and late teen appearance. They can be changed at any time. That's cool. I mean, they, them, obviously. Androgynous appearance? Smack dab middle? For both sliders? Sounds good. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Batumna will be like. I can't change anything about my things from the looks of it. I have more empathy than anything else, but only a tiny bit more. Every child on the stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6 you see the first sign of yours. Eagle eyes, extra fingers, absorbent brain, super strength, calm temperament, or nothing at all. Hey there. How are you? I'm also doing good. Yeah, the phrasing of absorbent brain is pretty cool. But I'm guessing that's gonna make us smart. Professor Hell says kids learn fast because their brains are like sponges, but when people get older they can't absorb as much new stuff. Not for you. You're always learning, and your curiosity knows no end. Absorbent brain, +1 skill on challenge with brains. The other kids have trouble keeping up with you, but one tries. Energetic and loyal Anemone, tough and gentle Cal, bold and confident Mars, quiet and adventurous Diz, studious and mature Tangent, shy and sweet Tammy. Are we choosing a rival or are we choosing a friend? Hoi, I'm Tammy. That common misconception is based on a study that stopped measuring at 25 and now people think that you decline heavily in learning ability. Huh. Yeah. It is definitely harder to learn something like now than it was when I was a kid. It just isn't true that your brain stops developing after age 25. Yes, it's not like nothing goes in there anymore. It just takes longer and more effort. Anyway, I think we've had 1 vote for Cal and 2 for Tammy. So we're going for Tammy. Shy and sweet Tammy. Aww. Tammy is the kindest person you know. She idolizes Auntie Sedent and is always following her around, helping her with the babies and learning how to cook. She has the best snacks at class recess and always shares, especially with you and Cal. She and Cal are just as close, so it's kind of like having 2 best friends. We get Cal too. Hell yeah. I hope so. Let's just see what the Cal text says, shall we? Cal is a sweetheart, always ready to lend a hand or play a game. He and Tammy are just as inseparable, so it's almost like you have 2 best friends instead of just one. Cal teaches you how to take care of all the classroom plants. Your parents are very proud of both of you. Yeah, Yay, Tammy. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hell says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with the planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble. Then things start to slide off the table. You hurry together near the escape pods just in case. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Solace, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we've practiced. Your mum gives him a sharp, worried look. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound and somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly, like you were taught, but you were scared. But you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you put on a tough face, which we can't do because we don't have toughness. Get in touch with your emotions, or think of a game to play. Game. That's 3 votes towards game from just one person, and 2 other votes towards game. Think of a game to play. You start a game of Rambutan with some of your classmates. You pick the topic types of fruit. Cal thinks about it. I could name 10 kinds of fruit, he says. What's happening? Somebody is entering the room. I have been brought a Kinder Pingui, thank you. On a pillow, by the way. Thank you. Okay. You can't hear anybody. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You can speak and people can hear you.
Hello.
There we go.
It seemed that you had forgotten that we have them, so...
No, I had not, but thanks.
And look, we don't have a red pillow, so... I was thinking of putting a towel on top.
Yes. I could name 10 kinds of fruit, he says. 1 extra card when drawn. Maybe I could name 11, Dis mumbles. Anemone confidently counters with 12. We do have a red pillow upstairs on the sofa. The roommate has already left again, but I will send them your greetings. Confidently counters with 12. Back to Cal. He thinks I could name 20. The others shrug, and Anemone tells him to go ahead. Apple, orange, 6, as many games of Rambutan do. I keep wanting to say art, but that's... but that'd involve calling you an a-hole. I mean, fair enough. You can call me Perry if that helps. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches. And you're stretching too, your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? Are we getting spaghettified? You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of déjà vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know somehow that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall, head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow, lots of them. Different tomorrows. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger, grinning as she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not going to let you miss this. Distantly, you can feel the ship's shaking has stopped, and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your conscience reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbay under you plays a medbed under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Sunlight, trees, ground? I'm gonna eat this penguin now. Sunlight? Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people walking around outside, on the ground. You better get out there and join them. Rush outside to start your new life, or cautiously step outside to your new life. We're rushing. Oh, Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarter behind her. You're awake. Are you all better? You better go see your dad. She points southeast towards some geodesic domes. To walk, use left stick or directional buttons. To talk to a character, press X button when near them. Yeah, the usual. Tammy looks concerned. You slept for so long after you bumped your head, she says. I bet your parents were worried. Your dad is working over in geoponics, near those domes. They're called greenhouses. I would go with you, but, well, this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed, Tammy stammers, blushing. It's scary outside. One more step and I'll be further away from the ship than ever before in my life. Engineering. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to the teaching labs at medbay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of this wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI, beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Solace. Welcome back. The garrison, a small team led by Security Chief Retz, was enough to keep the peace on the stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here on Vertumna, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. And best of all, a regulation-sized sports ball court. Yes, we have a wall. That's my dad. So I'm not gonna go there yet. Command. Command is a warren of long hallways with doors off to tiny nondescript offices. Everyone you pass seemed to be hurrying off to something important. The end of one hallway opens into the supply depot, which works as both requisition office and general store. Beyond it are cavernous warehouses stacked high with supplies from Earth, now being gradually unpacked and distributed. View the notice board, why not? Colony food shortfall 100% low. Colony's security rating evaluating. Upcoming event, we will be hosting our first annual Vertumnalia Festival during the second month of Dust. Chief Administrator Seek. Notice, take precaution outside the colony boundaries. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. Survey teams are investigating. Chief Surveyor Tonen. That doesn't seem like enough food. Yeah. Current Council and Administration, Governor Udocott, Command. Chief Administrator Seek, Command. Security Chief Red, Garrison. Chief Engineer Instance Engineering. Chief Cultivator Flulu, Geoponics. Chief Steward Antecedent Quarters. Chief Surveyor Melatonin, Expeditions. Let me guess, Xenofauna are dog-like creatures that eat faces. Potentially. Hi, Dad. Bye, Dad. Yes, they have weird names. Geoponics. The greenhouses have different biomes inside, growing plants from Earth that might belong in a desert, jungle, or temperate forest. Some are so delicate, you have to spray off any germs in an airlock before you can enter. The seasonal garden outside is dotted with blue nobodies. Little flowers with what look like wriggling creatures stuck inside each one. A sign explains it's a decoy meant to attract some kind of flying predator to come pollinate the flowers. Interesting. Solace! Your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away for the whole year, my snoozy little gooseberry. He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Ah, you love your dad, or he's so embarrassing. Realistic would be 2, but I vote 1. Yes, we love our dad. Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside except in pictures. The ship has been separated in 2 and parts taken off to form other buildings in the big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. It's beautiful. How did you do this so fast? What's outside the walls? Yeah, his shirt is really cool. I do love the clothes of everybody so far. Okay. Need a die. How did you do this so fast? You've been asleep for weeks, my dear aubergine. What are those nicknames? He says, and these geodesic greenhouses practically put themselves up. But some of this is only a quick temporary solution, he admits. We'll keep growing and improving things. One day our little colony will be as big as a whole city. Oh, before I forget, he pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in medbay. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of deja vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. +1 to challenge. Sun medallion. Open the package. Tell him you know what's in it, or don't open the package, in which case we don't get the sun medallion. I love that this is already very weird. I mean, we're telling him that we know what's in it. That's very interesting that we know. You describe the medallion and your dad tisks as he hands you the package. Ah, you ruined the surprise. Was it Seek? I'll bet it was Seek. They hate fun. He grins and adds, don't tell them I said that. You start to explain that nobody told you, but someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Solace, he says, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed and... He stops himself. Don't worry, we're going to fix it. Your mother and I. Professor Hell is expecting you in classes if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing in the rear end of the bisected ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in your quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Solace. I love you. Unlocked study humanities in engineering. Love your dad or give him a thumbs up. Love you too, Dad. To enter buildings, press the X button near a door or flag, then choose an activity for the month to gain skills and advance time. There are 13 months a year and 10 years to the end of the game. You'll only have time to focus on a few things. Okay, interesting. Oh, hey. You see this sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from someone? Somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you that dreams weren't real. Breaking you from your daydream, this whispers, I think there are monsters out there. I believe you, stop making things up, or our parents will keep us safe. I believe you. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. He turns his back and ignores you. They're huge and wriggly and dangerous, or leave him alone. They're huge and wriggly and dangerous. Stop making fun of me, Dis pouts. You're as bad as Mars. We're not friends with you, that's why we can't convince you that we... Huh. Dis looks at his feet and pretends not to notice you. We need bravery of 20 or higher to get becoming a carnivore. Hiya, Solace. Anemone says seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from snow on Earth, she tells you, because it isn't cold, but it's still neat, and you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. Anemone is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded near her. What are you making? Have you seen any monsters? Why aren't you in school? Or see you later. What are you making? Just snow spirals, she says. But earlier me and Cal made a big snow pal. You missed it while you were sleeping in medbay. She smiles her broad gap-toothed smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. The other two options are still there. Why aren't you in school? She smacks her forehead. School! I wondered where everybody was. I guess I'm gonna be late for humanities class. She doesn't look very worried to you. It's okay, she says. Professor Hell is chill. He won't mind, but we should probably go now. She grins and starts running towards engineering. Hey, race you! No fair, she's getting a head start. This was command. Engineering. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to different to teaching labs and medbay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of the wing is... Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, we can study life sciences, which gives us +2 biology, +1 reasoning, and +15 stress. And humanities, which gives 2 creativity, 2 persuasion, and also 15 stress. Creativity, persuasion... Yeah. That's 3 points in smarts classes and 4 in... I don't know. Empathy? I don't know how to class the things that we have on the left. Communication, yeah. Yeah, let's just go with communication, smarts, and brawn. Or strength. Alright, let's study... It says it where? Is it just, I don't know, is it just humanities, I guess? Well, I mean, let's study life sciences then. Good afternoon, my burgeoning biologists and up-and-coming chemists. Professor Hell welcomes you back to your own classroom. This afternoon, we'll learn what I like to call the wet sciences. He gestures to the projected lesson plan. Biology, chemistry, medicine, ecology, and geology. I mean, there was a vote for it. You learn a little bit of everything with opportunities for further study in your favorite field. If you're looking for something a little drier, try registering for engineering class. For today's lesson, Professor Hell tells you, we'll start with a fun group project. You'll be studying the mush tree, a prominent natural resource native to Vertomna. In the ideal conditions, it can grow at a speed of over a meter a day and have a diameter of up to 30 centimeters. He stands on his tiptoes and gestures to illustrate. Your team will experiment to find those ideal conditions. Yeah, right now, our empathy is better than, like, anything we have in smarts. You're teamed up with Tang and Cal and are given a mush tree spore and a bucket to grow it in. The rest is up to you. Tang looks up surveyor notes on the holonet. Mush trees, she reads, are most abundant south of the colony in the stormy, moist regions of the subaqueous swamp. Subaqueous? Subaqueous. What if you use water instead of soil, Cal suggests. Like they do with hydroponics. Tang nods. If they like wet weather, that might work. Solace, do you have any suggestions? Lower the water's pH, put it under a bright grow light, sing to it daily, run an electric current through it, or all of the above. Yeah, the only thing we currently don't have any points in are the brawny stuff. Hi there. Yes, we can. Wait, so... Most abundant south of the colony in the stormy, moist regions of the subaqueous swamp. Stormy and moist. You can vote. No. Yeah, we're going for the electric current, which makes sense with Stormy. What? Tang exclaims. Solace, how does that have any basis in reality? She looks to Cal for support, and he just shrugs, but he doesn't look convinced either. Neither understand why you'd want to electrocute a plant. You explain that there are storms in the swamp, electrical storms, and maybe somehow that, well... Maybe Solace is right, Tang nods slowly. It could make sense, and if it is true, we'd be the first ones to discover it. This is enough to entice Tang into most things. You attach a small battery to run a weak current through your bucket of water and drop the spore in. The next morning your spore is the only one already growing. By the end of the day, it's already 1/2 meter tall. And the day after that, it's so huge it hits the ceiling and you have to move it outside. Your tree outspaces all the others by a long shot. At the end of the week, Tang proudly displays an edit to the surveyor's HoloNet notes. Shows rapid growth when stimulated with a mild electric current as discovered by our junior botanists. Get to work. When you work or go to class, you'll play a quick card challenge as the months passes. Move cards to fill the 5 panes and make the best hand you can. Yes, order matters. If your total in the circle in the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your cards, some challenges can't be won, but you still get a reward for doing your best. Interesting. Bonus for flushes, same color together. Bonus for pairs, same number together. Bonus for straights, increasing from left to right. The more cards in a flush, pair or straight, the higher the bonus added to your total. Cards can also affect each other and can be rearranged to find the best total score. Wait, so if we play this, then this is a 2 as well. Okay. Goal was 9, we got a 10. Which would have been playing any card in any order, probably. Maybe. Yes. To be fair, water and electric current both make sense. Yes. Fair. We win. You worked well this month, +1 biology. Your skills increase when you work or go to school, with extra skills if you win the challenge and a kudos bonus if you make the highest scoring hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, take a month off to relax in the quarter wing. I think it would have made more sense to place the yellow 0 next to the yellow cards, but it didn't matter. Yeah, fair enough. Next time. +4 biology, +1 reasoning, and we got stress. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mum watches you as she works a pebble out of the gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? I learned some stuff in school, or school is so boring. I learned some stuff in school. I'm glad to hear that, your mum says. I want you to study hard and work hard and stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles. And Professor Hell will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mum, I think there are lots of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Your mum shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future. And if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics, your mum adds. We could use your helps. We could use your help. Unlocked shoveling dirt in geoponics. Okay. Early quiet. Mid quiet. Next month. Right. We can go dirt shoveling, we can go back to school, but let's talk to everybody who's out there first. Anemone is bumping a sports ball with her wrists, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts and bumps the ball in your direction. Think fast. We can't do a trick. Bounce it back or look out, a ball is flying toward you. Something just crashed upstairs. That... I hope it wasn't anything bad. We chose the absorbent brain thingy. Making a mark on my list then. Interesting. I don't know the Anemone song, I don't think. Bounce it back. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. Anemone tells you about the new sports ball court, a proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little 0G one on the stratospheric. Her brother Com is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. Unlocked sports ball in the garrison. I'm so murderbot-brained right now, all the space/sci-fi terms keep reminding me of it. Fair. The most chosen augment of first playthrough is still Eagle Eyes. Interesting. So we got one more option. We can play sports, we can go... Oh yeah, we also talked to the parents first. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Just hanging with my friends? Staying in, it's cold out here. Playing in the fresh air. Playing in the fresh air. He breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertumna is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons! Back on Earth it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. I hate that already. Mum? You find your mum hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plants pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth. Spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do? She asks. Remember, Solace, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. She points towards the engineering wing in the back half of the stratospheric severed frame. Professor Hell's still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hand on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? What are you doing in geoponics? What's happening in engineering? What can I do in the quarters? What's the garrison? What's going on in command? Can I join expeditions? Or no, I'm good. I was outside. Kids are kicking a ball against the garage gates? Why? Well, at least it wasn't something like your dad fell or something. That's what I was worried about. Can I join expeditions? Oh yeah, right, you're in the other yeah. Yes, you're not at the house with where your dad is, fair enough. I'm sorry. Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. She shakes her head. Your father would be worried. There's so much we still don't know about the world out there. Let the adults find out, then maybe you can join them in a few years, when you're older. She gives you a stern look. She isn't going to budge on this one. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, then we're asking about the geoponics. She looks down and nudges at a sprout growing between her feet. It's green, the color of Earth's plants. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here, she says, glancing up at the sky. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. How did you guys even know about this yet? She takes a long look at you, up and down. You're growing fast, Solace, but you're still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing you disappointed, she nudges you on the shoulder. Don't pout. It'll help build those muscles. You'll need them now that we're out in the real world, doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strengths. She flexes her biceps. Your mum is really strong. Should I just ask about all of the things? Yeah, I'm just gonna. What happens in engineering? Hell's teaching classes on life science, engineering, and humanities. If you pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Your father thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you, she says, gesturing to the fields. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I'd suggest studying life science. If you don't have a good grasp of biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you on shovel duty. What can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, she advises, you can visit the lounge and see your friends. But, she warns, raising a finger, I don't want to see you lounging around all the time. You need to work hard too. Whilst the garrison, Security Chief Rhett is organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'll be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mum are the most like soldiers you'd see on a holovid. For a moment you think your mum's going to suggest something else, then she shakes her head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that yet. Just enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. What's going on in command? I think Zeke said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up a shop there if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course that's where Captain Governor Udicott works. But you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman and she doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mum isn't usually known for her patience. Okay, bye. We talked to Dad already. Anybody else around? I've not met you. A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Solace, Mars calls out to you. Come here, I have a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. It's so gross here, she complains. This spark snow would ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we had climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, But there's no way I'm going out there in all this weather, she continues. Since you like running around in it, could you fetch them for me? Okay, or get them yourself. All this weather we're having, yeah, we've been having, horrible. Agreed. I don't like Mars. She seems mean. Yeah, maybe. Potentially. Get them yourself. Mars huffs and rolls her eyes. Ugh, I don't even know why I asked. If you ever want to actually be useful, go talk to Administrator Zeke, she says, gesturing to the door to command behind her. They're looking for people to work delivery, and I'm just like, no. I'm way too busy. Too busy fetching my own soy sweets. Yeah. Okay, is this still the same? Are they seeking people? Good job. Right. Class. Oh wait, there's one more person here. Hey there. Hey Tammy. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you used to play with her, were her study partner, or used to tease her. We used to play with her. Tammy had the best doll collection. After her mum died, her dad used all his nanoprinter creds to print her a different doll every month for a whole year. Her ears perk up when she sees you. Oh, hello, Solace, she says. Her voice is soft and dreamy, like a beam of starlight. Do you want to play dolls? I sure do. No way, we're too old for that. Or maybe later. It does kind of look like her eyes are a tiny bit wet, yeah. I sure do. You don't think Tammy will ever be too old to play with dolls. If anything, she has even more of them now. She takes you to her quarters and brings out the entire Spacey Stacy doll collection. A disturbingly realistic baby with real bowel movements and two super fancy posable dolls named Lily and Tilly who can be programmed to move on their own. Tammy isn't very good at the programming, so Lily and Tilly just roll around awkwardly when you turn them on. You cover quickly by saying they must be breakdancing at a club. The two of you spend the afternoon making up stories of their rise to stardom as professional dancers. That's very cute. Yes, we can chill, we can go to class, or we can go to either run deliveries for Seek or work shovel duty in the greenhouse. What do we want to do? Or we can play sports. We can also play sports. I physically cringed when I read that bit. I thought it was cute. I mean, we're probably gonna do both this year. This month, rather. No, not this month. This season? This season. I love that we're possibly gonna spend an entire month just playing sports. And nothing else. I'm just gonna roll for which we do first, and then we do the other thing the next month. Dai says we're doing sports first. Two bravery, one toughness, one friendship with an enemy. Anemone. And 10 stress. Sure. Anemone meets you on the court. She's bouncing from one leg to the other in excitement. My brother Com is organizing the youth team, she tells you. Kombucha offers you a high five in greeting, then tosses a sports ball your way. Let's start with a practice game to see what you're good at. You and Anemone are team captains. Pick your team. Anemone? Anemone. Yes, the name is Kombucha. Love that design though. Anemone used to practice with Cal and Mars on the ship, but Tammy, you're surprised to see her here. Com will fill in to even up the teams, but he promises to go easy on the other side. So we can choose Cal, Mars, Kombucha, or Tammy. I just call her Nem Nem. That's very fair. Okay, we're all agreed to go with Cal. I mean, Cal was good at sports, right? Mind if I play goalie? He asks. Sports ball is fun, but I don't really like to score against the other team. Aww. Anemone chooses Kombucha, of course. They bump fist. Your next choice is either Mars or Tammy. The Dream Team trio has to stick together. Yes. Tammy it is. Cal said I should join, but I'm not very good at sports. Where should I stand? She asks quietly. You aren't sure. You assign her to tackle back and tell her to stick like glue to the opposing team's spiker. Maybe she'll get in their way instead of yours? You face off. 3-on-3. Start the game. Story challenges have 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round, you'll keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing in story challenges. Okay. 1 extra card when drawn. +1 skill on challenge win. That's good. I only have 3 cards to play, so I'm gonna go with the 3 zeros. And then I'm gonna go with that. No, wait. Can I take that back? Damn it. I didn't realize I had 4 to play now. Then I should have gone with the 2 blues. Well. No, I can't take it back. That's unfortunate. Beefed it. Okay, +1 to the card next to it. We could play 3... Yeah. Wait, to the card next to it, so that could be this yellow 2, then blue 1, blue 1. No, wait. And then the 3 0 cards we have. So it's 2 2 0 0 0. Maybe? And then we play them in this order. We did it! Yes, the blue 1 would become a blue 2, yes, I am, yeah. Back had to clean, tidy the kitchen. I love having a dishwasher so much. Yes, dishwashers are good. We won. No skill changes. Tammy tackles Anemone on a brilliant takedown that surprises everyone. She really took to her role as the immovable object. Cal makes an amazing jump save, but is winded when the ball hits him in the chest. The score is tight, with Anemone and Com putting the pressure on. Then blam! You score the match point with a red spike all the way from the net line. Damn. Set neighbor to this value. Interesting. You worked well this month. +1 bravery. And we also have a friendship point with Anemone. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning you were sure Professor Hal was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. Yeah, the smiley meter is the stress. As Professor Hal walks away, his hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces and when you wake up, they're smears in your memory like wet paint. But what if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or that you're sick and need to go to the med bay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? You don't want people to worry? You just want to be normal, or secret powers are fun? We don't want people to worry. Your parents have so much on their minds already. You have a feeling that something is happening at Geoponics that they don't want you to know. You don't understand it, but when they come home at night, they look really sad. You don't want to make that worse. If you just keep going to classes and staying out of trouble, it'll be easier for everyone, yourself included. Mid-quiet changes to late quiet. Okay. The plants aren't growing, probably. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. We need... Anemone runs up to you. Hi, Solace, she huffs, catching her breath. She grins. On the ship, adults are always saying, no running, Anemone, no running. But outside there's so much room. I can run for 5 minutes in one direction, even more after the robo-plows clear the land for farms. Want to train together? Can't do that because we're not tough enough. Goodbye. You're Tang, right? Tangent, ah. Tangent is hunched over the holopalm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Hell wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalogue on the Colony Holonet, but I can't find it anywhere. Plants? Tried looking outside? I'll help you find that catalogue, or let's make our own list. I'll help you find that catalogue. You launch your own holopalm and start searching the colony's Holonet archives for a list of autumnal plants and animals. 10 minutes later, you find it buried under survey logistics in the expeditions net. Anemone passes by and pulls a face at the two of you. Hey, holo nerds! She shouts. School's over! Come play sports ball in the sunshine! Tang just rolls her eyes. Same thing? Yes. Oh, hey. Expeditions. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo. Uncle Tonin blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid expeditions is off limit for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You'd better toughen up so you can join the squads when you're older. I think Anemone is the one from the very beginning who pulled you out of the fire, right? Possibly. I'm tough enough. We're not tough enough. I'm brave enough. I'm also not brave enough. We can view the map. An info window pops up on your holopalm when you get closer. What do you want to know about? The Prosaic Plains? The Prosaic Plains lie far to the north of the colony, where the higher elevation and natural tilt of the planet makes bromidic snow fall more regularly in every season. Though prone to sudden storm flurries, the plains are a relatively safe place to explore, filled with mostly herbivorous xenofauna. The Valley of Vertigo is a low-lying trench to the east that's dense with pollen-producing trees. There's a wide variety of edible food here, both plant and animal product, leading to some of the explorers calling this place the breadbasket of Vertamna. There are a number of animals here that Geoponics would be interested in domesticating. The Western Resting Ridge. This tongue-twisting region is the broken spine of the planet, home to both dizzying heights and abyssal lows. It's always hot and arid here, no matter the season. Traversing these steep chasms is dangerous and only to be done by those with sufficient glider training. However, there are some interesting ruins here to explore. The subaqueous swamp. To the south is the vast boggy wilderness, home to dangerous animals and hazardous weather conditions. Exploration in this area is only to be done with extreme caution. Oh yeah, that could be Tammy's dad. No, wait. Yes. He does look a lot like her. View bestiary, float cow, Xenolevis bovidae. These cumbersome-looking creatures are actually lighter than air due to large helium sacs on dorsal and ventral sides. Careful balancing of helium and urine allows them to control their elevation. What? They produce a salty, high-protein, milky substance for feeding their young that is also nutritious for humans. Hop-eye? Common hop-eye, Xenophilus monopodus. A communal creature with two disparate sets of eyes and one strong foot used for both locomotion and defense. Though harmless, these small warriors can be fierce in groups. Antnomanticore, Xenophilus tyrannus. Highly intelligent and predatory, their plumage changes according to the season. Their body is composed almost entirely of dangerous weapons. Do not approach. Yeah, let's not. We leave. Hi, Cal. Cal is riding around the geoponics gardens on his hoverboard. Hell yeah. The board comes to a sudden shuddering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Solace. Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. Yeah, that sucks. Maybe hoverboards don't work outside, or we all have to adapt. I want a hoverboard. We all have to adapt. Yeah, Cal exclaims. Things are actually way better planetside. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over to a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skate ball. Cool, can I try? What now? Cool, can I try? Sure, but please be careful. Mum says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up enough speed going down on one side to come back up the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. Right. Is that everybody? What about you? I have all these kudos and nowhere to spend them yet, Mars says, sighing. Zeke says the depot store won't be open till next year. How am I supposed to show off how much better and harder working I am than everyone else? Tell her about your day, but I'm not persuasive enough to do that. And we said we wanted to... is anything... Yeah, what about you? Tammy has barely left the safety of the ship's quarters and lounge since you landed. She's looking fearfully out from the doorway. I'm afraid of outside, she admits plainly, with no trace of shame. My dad says I need to take baby steps, and that is okay if I approach new things at my own pace. Perform a random act of kindness, which we could actually do if we wanted to. We have the empathy for that. Do we want to perform a random act of kindness? Yes, you have to convince her to listen to you at all. Yes, we do that. Okay. We perform a random act of kindness. You start simple. You give Tammy an enormous hug, sharing the love. Tammy gets a lot of hugs, but you make sure this one feels special. She hugs you back, wiggling back and forth happily. She's surprisingly strong. Thanks, Solace, she says breathlessly as you squeeze the wind out of her a little. I really, really needed that. Oh, before you go, she adds, and produces a box with a slice of cake in it from the folds of her skirt. Do you want this cake? They're so fun to make. But I need someone to help me eat them. I'll make you another one. I'll make you another on your birthday if you like, and we can trade hugs for cakes again. I mean, sure, thanks. The cake is not a lie. Okay, have you gone outside the colony yet? Tang asks you. I hear all sorts of terrible things. Regardless, we're not allowed to strafe the gates unless we're on expedition. Tang rolls her eyes. Not that it stops my brother. Want to study together? We can't because we don't have reasoning. Yeah, just was our birthday. We have to wait an entire year to get a cake again. Right. We said we wanted to go to command. Admin. Command is a Warren. Yeah. View the notice board. We can't apply to deliver supplies yet because we are not tough enough or organized enough. Can we even shovel dirt then, or are we also not tough enough for that? We can shovel dirt. So, we can go to class, or we can shovel dirt, or we play more sports, or we relax a bit. We are going towards the red. Shoveling dirt gives you kudos, but relaxing might also be a good idea. Also, the shop that lets us trade in kudos is only open from next year onwards, apparently. We can still shovel dirt next month. Our stress is the smiley bar on top. So we are in the red. Our kudos is right next to that. And I don't know what the flag and the fist stands for yet. Yes, but I would like to know if there is a number to it. I mean, so far it doesn't look like it. Wait, no. We're at 75 of 100. Oh, that's rebellion / relationship with the Dalton colony government. So yeah. Relax sounds like a good idea. Relax in the lounge. That's minus 100 stress and 1 friendship with Tammy, and forget 1 memory optional. The ship's quarters are where everyone sleeps, eats, and hangs out. The private bedrooms are small, you share one with your parents, so colonists spend most of their time in the big common area. There's a lounge and cafeteria and creche where all the little kids and babies are raised communally. Shoveling gives us 15 stress, so maybe let's relax. Yes. That kind of makes me think there's something political going to happen. Yes. Probably. It's nice to take some time off to chill after all the stress of school and work, not to mention the mental toll of just living on this unpredictable planet. Looks like you're not the only one who needs some downtime. Some of the other kids are also relaxing in the lounge. We can approach Mars and Diz, join Cal and Tammy, sit alone with your holopalm, which gives us the card hooked on your holopalm, which is a 3. The forget one memory is ominous. It is. Maybe it's a bad memory that we can't forget? It is a good card, but we don't have any other 3s, so it's not that good a card. I don't think we have any other 3s, at least. We do have a bunch of blues, yes. Since the blues are also all the brainy stuff. But I'd go for socializing. That makes sense. Okay. That can build into a street. That's not wrong. I've not done streets yet. But it seems like we're approaching Mars and Diz. Okay, but you do stink, you hear Mars defend herself. It's not my fault that you can't tell. Maybe your nose stopped working, but the rest of us can smell it, and... She waves her hands in front of her nose and makes a pew gesture, then turns to you. He smells awful, right, Solis? Do a sniff test. Yeah, this always needs a shower, which gives us 4 being a bully. Stop being so mean, Mars. This whole planet smells awful anyway. This is such a strong card, and it's such an awful text. Stop being so mean, Mars. You stand toe-to-toe with Mars. She glares at you, then at Diz. Fine, she says, defeated. I'm sorry, Diz. I'm just trying to help. But I should have said it in a nicer way. Not everyone in life is going to tell you the truth, you know? Oh, that's meant with... Yes, okay, I can forget a card. I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. Maybe at some point, but right now I don't think that's a good idea, unless we want to go for a deck that is just blue. We can also keep them, yes. Variety helps, yes. We also don't know whether at some point, like, it's good to have cards, like, we only win a challenge with red cards or something. That could be a thing. Next month, early pollen. People only seem to have new things on top of them when they have dots. Just checking. Okay, we need 40 empathy now for this next card. +2 to last card. Cal runs up to you, streaked from foot to neck with purple dirt. There's so much space. Me and Anemone just ran for 20 minutes and we never ran down the same path twice. He leans over and braces his hands on his knees, breathing heavily. Hoo-wee, she's so fast. Fun nature fact we can't do because we need more biology. You spot your dad looking longingly towards the forest. You ever think about what's out there? He muses. There could be anything. We don't even know. He sighs and leans on his rake. And I'm stuck here, pushing dirt around. Lassoing a float cow. But we need 20 animals. That is just the... Yes. You're just there for... giving us... Oh, there was an egg that I could do things with. Yes, still needs persuasion. Mom is for tutorials. You find a hefty red xeno egg. Whatever I do with xeno eggs, I guess I'll find out. Yes. Shoveling dirt? Toughness, friendship with Cal. Yes, so that we can do admin things. Yes. Shoveling dirt. It's your first day in the glorious world of agricultural soil conveyance. Good morning, Solace. Looks like you're working for your old lady. I hope you don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're my kid. She walks you around the geoponics wing and points out where everything is. Your job is to move sod, compost, plants, garden waste and equipment from one place to another. Get comfortable with this, she says, pushing a squeaky old-fashioned wheelbarrow towards you. Now any questions before you start moving that dirt? Don't we have machines for this? Where do I move it again? Why not use hydroponics? Or let's get to work. At some point, we might have to gain more toughness than for that. Yeah, maybe. We can also look at the courses that we have available at school. Maybe sports gives us more toughness at some point? I don't know. Where do I move it again? From over there, she points to a dirt pile, to there. She points to an identical pile 10 meters away. She sees your confusion. We had some very precious soil from Earth on the ship, full of all the nutrients and bugs and bacteria our plants need to grow. But it was lost, she sighs, in an accident. Now we have to make more from scratch using Boptomnan soil. This is part of the process. The same two questions are still there. Might be a thing again of like, we can ask all the questions, but I'm not entirely sure. Why not use hydroponics? On the ship we grew most of our plants with their roots in the water, and it's true it was more hygienic that way. Your mum replies. She brushes an insect off her arm, which lets out a loud squeak of objection. But hydroponic systems use too much energy. Here we have to grow as much as we can the old-fashioned way. Don't we have machines for this? The construction crew's already claimed all the hover lifts, she says, shrugging. But they'll break down in a few years anyway, and we don't have the material to fix them. She grips your forearm. We're planet-side now. Use your muscles. Nature's hydraulic pistons. Let's get to work. That's my kid, your mum says, slapping you on the back. You stumble a little. Your arms start to ache after the first half hour of work, but you keep going. By the end of the month, you feel utterly drained and exhausted. And good, somehow. You can feel your muscles growing already. Harder card challenges. Looking for more difficulty, this harder card challenge option will keep you on your toes. Want to focus on the story. This will replace future minigames with... Let's put them on. If we lose some, we can still turn it off, right? Yeah, harder card challenges on. Right. Let's do... +1's good. These set neighbors to this value. Huh. With that card, I could make my entire hand, turn my entire hand into ones. That might be worth it. And then go for 3 red and 3 blue one, and no, 2 blue ones, 1 yellow one. Super go. We get another Xeno egg. +1 to a card challenge suit. Okay. Oh no, that's what the Xeno egg does. What does this do? +1 to challenges. We win! You worked well this month, +1 toughness. And we got... from best score, we get more stuff. Cool. You wake from an afternoon nap. You squint into the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across your nest of pillows. Oh, I'm sorry, Solace, she says, giggling. I didn't mean to wake you up. It's just so nice outside, with pollen sparkling in the sunlight. I wanted to open the windows. You rub your eyes blearily. Ugh, you're having the weirdest dream. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Sedens is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off towards the creche, humming to herself. Go get that free candy or I don't want any candy. She's making candy from cotton. That's some very good looking food there, Kat. The crash, is this Baldur's Gate? Yes, I was thinking that too, thanks. I've never encountered that word before this game, and Baldur's Gate, and now this. We are getting free candy. It isn't. I'm not stepping into fire enough for it to be Baldur's Gate. Fucking hell. You're not wrong, but still. You look like you could be an enemy's mom. In the cafeteria, Auntie Seeden is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, puffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Solace, she says, handing you a wand with some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of this. We used to have it on Earth. You pull off a piece and give it a taste. It's so sweet at first that your mouth puckers. You've never tasted anything so sweet and so real. It's not at all like the soy sweet that the kitchen nanoprinter can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. We had fire in the beginning, so patience. Yeah. I could still step into fire, yes. You wait until everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hands. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her hair, you think. Pale pink and so soft. You keep some to give her later. We got pink candy with it too. You're relaxing in your family's quarters after dinner. Your mum had to run off on some kind of council business, so you and your dad are playing a holo game together. When you're just about ready to head off to bed, your mum returns. You can tell from the defeated slant of her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask her what's happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. She sits down and takes your hand holding it between her two strong dirt-creased ones. Solace, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this, she starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon, in the crash. Still murderbot brains, but one of the books has the word crash too. Huh. Your friend Tammy has died? No! You try to understand her words. Tammy, dead. That's not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy. Pink and fluffy, just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out is a sticky dark red lump of hard goo. You stare at it. Your mind blank. Asked what happened or just go to bed? Also, we just got 50 stress, which seems an understatement. Ask what happened. Your mum tells you as simply as possible that Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken holoprojector. It was just an accident. You press her for an explanation. A little girl is dead. Someone you've grown up with. Someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything. You just saw her this morning. She was right there. Why? I also got plus 50 stress. What do you mean she's dead? That's very fair. Also, now I'm wondering, did we doom her by choosing her as our friend? Like, would everybody else have also died? Your mum's eyes are sad when she tells you, sometimes there's just no reason why. You aren't used to dealing with death, and you don't know what you're supposed to say or do. You sort of mumble, okay, then get changed and crawl into bed, a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours. You eventually drift off to fitful dreams of that small, sticky red lump of cotton candy. Next month. Yeesh. Cal is sitting in your mum's flower garden with his face in his hands. He's clearly been crying all morning and probably all of yesterday too. He and Tammy were really close. Whenever you guys used to play house in the crash, Tammy was always the mummy and Cal was the daddy. Even though you were just little kids, you kind of always giggled about how obviously they were gonna be together forever, like a princess and a knight. Are you okay? I miss her too. At least you finally left your quarters. You choose it. Which of course you didn't. I miss her too. Me too, he sniffs, looking up at you. You can see how puffy and red his eyes are. Me really, really too. Tammy always liked these flowers, he mumbles. Sometimes I picked some for her. He runs his hands over the pretty white flowers. Don't tell your mum, okay? Tears well up and slowly leak out of his eyes. He doesn't even blink, just stares at the flowers as the tears run down his cheeks. You decide to give him some space. You step cautiously towards the colony gates. Solace? Uncle Tonan sighs as he blocks your pulse. He looks like he hasn't been sleeping. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be out here. Our children are so young and so precious, so fragile. Please stay near the ship. He is definitely her dad. Can you believe Tammy died? Diz asks morbidly. I heard Chief Engineer Instant tell someone about it. He lowers his voice. Tammy got shocked by a broken holoprojector. The one in the crash with the dancing teddy bear, you remember? When she touched, she got chucked all the way across the room. He makes a sailing motion with his hands and... Bam! She was dead before she even landed. Wow, really? Ew, I didn't want to know that. I mean, the trigger warnings, content warnings, did mention major character death. I didn't think it was gonna happen this soon. Like, I thought we had like a year or two before this was gonna be a thing. Wow, really? This suddenly looks embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, it's too bad she's gone. She was nice. He tucks at the sleeves of his oversized jacket. But that's kind of a cool way to die. I wonder if you can influence it somehow. I don't know. I'm still wondering whether we made this happen by fucking choosing her as our friend. Anemone is chucking rocks at the strato, sending metallic clanks ringing through the colony. Stupid planet, she yells. Stupid crash, stupid spaceship. Now that's more like it, as a, reaction to somebody's death, than what we just had with this. She bends down to pick up another rock, but instead just stops and braces her hands on her knees. Stupid everything, why'd you have to die? It's not fair, kids aren't supposed to die. Agreed. Tang is pacing around in front of engineering. She looks upset. It shouldn't have happened, she says. What happened to Tammy? It shouldn't have been possible. There was no reason for that holoprojector to break. Professor Hell said it was recently serviced, that nothing was wrong with it before it just... She gestures angrily. Just blew up for no reason. Nobody would have wanted to hurt her, so why? How? It doesn't add up. Sorry, Solace. I want to think about this some more. I hate when I can't find the answer. Maybe it's always your best friend who dies. Yeah, maybe. Mars is staring into space, looking somber. She doesn't even notice as you come up beside her, and barely reacts when you say hello. I'm thinking about Tammy, she says quietly. She used to sit down the hill there. In that spot in the sun. Every morning she'd just sit there for hours in the sun doing nothing, just being happy. You stare down the hill to the spot near the entrance to the quarters. You can imagine her there, working on some little craft project, humming to herself. I miss her too, or she was so nice to everybody. I miss her too. And now she's dead, Mars says, making a face. How's that for fair? Of all the people, how come it had to be my friend? You don't have an answer. You've never heard Mars call Tammy her friend before. But of course she was. Tammy was everyone's scared little sister, even though she was older than most of you. Mars clicks her tongue. Oh yeah, Administrator Seek is looking for you. I guess they need someone to do delivery jobs. She waves vaguely at the door behind her, distracted by her thoughts. I have looked it up. If you're all interested, I can also keep it to myself if you want to prevent potential spoilers. Okay. I mean, if it's spoilery, then no? Okay, Tammy always dies in the first playthrough. I thought there might be a thing of like doing multiple playthroughs. Still need more toughness for delivery jobs. Okay, so it's always Tammy. That makes me feel a tiny bit better because it would have been really fucked if it had been if it had been our choice. View the notice board. We already did this. This is this thing. This has not changed from the thing. Yeah, always killing the best friend would be absolutely fucked up. Right. We could shovel more dirt to get the toughness up, or we could play some more sports, which also brings the toughness up, but not by as much, and it's not as stressful. Or we could go to class again, which right now, yeah, we still have the either life sciences or humanities to study. Also, studying humanities gives us a friendship point with Tang. Let me just check. Our stress is currently at 75 again. So it's just enough to do one thing before we rest again. There was no option to go with her to the crash, though, was there? I think that's something for later, maybe. For like a second playthrough. There seem to be like weird things going on with time stuff. Oh, anything we study gives us a friendship point with Tang. Life science? Yeah, let's study life sciences a bit more. Biology and reasoning. We also need biology to be able to work at the garden at some point. I think. Yeah, okay. Life sciences. We go straight into the thing. Good. We don't have anything with points on it. So we could go for 3. Yeah, we go for zeros and then blues. which was apparently not the best answer. But it was good enough. +1 to a card change suit to... Okay. Oh, yeah, that is something that we can do now every time, maybe? Okay, we got... Oh no, we did get best score. Xenomorph egg. The colony is going to hold a funeral for Tammy. Do you want to attend? If you don't feel up to it, you could just skip it and take the month off instead. Or you could get back to work. Okay. Yes, I'll attend. No, I want to grieve by myself. No, I'm too busy. Tammy who? Again, there's an answer that I will veto. We're attending. The colonists gather in the recycling room, bringing organics down to be recycled here in one of your is one of your chores, but you've only come here for a funeral twice. Both times the colonists had passed away from natural causes during the 20-year-long journey from Earth. This is the first time there's been a funeral on Vatamna, and the first time for someone you actually knew. The mouth of the organics recycler has been polished and a wreath of yellow flowers placed over the opening. Inside you can see a shrouded figure. Tammy's small, fragile body. Tammy's dad, Uncle Tonin, is here, as well as your parents and Auntie Sedent, and the rest of the council. Cal is here with his mum and her partners, already crying in their arms. The room is packed with people, and the feeling of grief is so thick you can taste it in your mouth. Governor Udicott stands before the assembled crowd. There are no words to ease the pain we feel today, she begins solemnly. There's only the sad company of those of us left behind to share the burden of that grief. Tammy was our child, she continues. One of the first humans to be born in space, and the first to die on an alien planet. In her short life, she exemplified the very arc of human accomplishment, bending hopefully towards life beyond our humble Earth. She is the first of us who can truly call Vatamna home. Her passing was as senseless as it was sudden. Losses like this are impossible to hold within oneself, a painful reminder that life is impossibly precious and fragile. But they also remind us, as always, that as a community we are capable of great strength. Udicott closes the door to the recycler. You hear Uncle Tonin sob over the hum of the particle disintegrators beginning their work. As a community, we remember Tammy. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, Tammy, our child from the stars, will never truly be lost to us. The ceremony is adjourned, but a few people stay back to console Uncle Tonin as he keeps vigil over the recycler. Cal and Uncle Tonin hold each other and weep openly. Your mum stays behind to receive Tammy's remains. As the head of geoponics, she'll be responsible for adding them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. Your dad accompanies you out of the recycling room. He clears his throat. I want you to know that you don't need to be okay, he says, clasping his warm hand on your shoulder. If you want to take the rest of the month off, everyone's going to understand. Take the month off or go back to school. Yeah, but it was also the kind of fairly normal sort of speech of that you get at funerals, to be honest. Take the month off. We're going to late pollen. We recovered 50. The prospect of just going back to school, just like everything is normal, is too much to handle. You end up spending the whole month alternating between sleeping, scrolling the HoloNet, and staring into space. It's restful, at least, and everyone gives you the time you need to process Tammy's death. Yeah, the whole pro-colony speak was to be expected, to be honest. We're in early dust now. Solace, Tangent says, approaching you with purpose. We need to discuss my brother. Who dis? Need friendship with this less than 20? You mean my buddy Dish? 10 friendship with this with we don't have, so who dis? Yes, this, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and She trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. I'll talk to him, I'll find out, or that's his own business. Yeah, Tang looks very good. I love the sort of lab coat outfit that she's sporting there. The DNA helix hair is also very, very good, yes. Also, the clasps of the coat kind of remind me of the sort of paper things that you would put in like as a bookmark into text that you're reading. You know the ones I mean. I'll find out. Thank you, Solace, she says, looking relieved for a second before her expression hardens again. I mean, it won't be a ridiculous waste of resources if something happened to him and no one knew where he was or how to find him. It would be a ridiculous waste of resources, sorry. Right, of course, Tang doesn't get worried. Also, just saw what this full name is, and oh my god. Okay, interesting. We'll find out. Anemone is running around the sports ball court, touching her hand to the ground at each corner. 18, she counts. 19. When she reaches 20, she collapses into the grass and checks her hollow palm. I'm training, she explains. My big bro Com says I have to get my legs acclimatized to the planet if I'm gonna be team captain like him. Telling a violent tale. Needs 20 or greater toughness. Here, I got something for you, or we just leave. I don't know what we would have for her. Here, I got something for you. Oh, I can give you the cake. Or the egg. But the egg does something. So we could give the cake. But that's from Tammy. Yes. We're keeping the cake. Goodbye. You tell Dis that his sister Tangent wants to know where he's been disappearing off to. His eyes flit briefly to yours, then he stares vaguely off towards the engineering wing, where his sister is reading on her holopalm between classes. He doesn't say anything. She's worried about you. Where do you go, Dis? Which we don't have enough friendship with him. You better tell me or else, or just leave him alone. She's worried about you. She doesn't care about me, he says sullenly. Tangent's just worried she'll get in trouble if I don't come home one day. He scowls and picks at the hem of his sweater. She doesn't care about anything but her schoolwork. You better tell me or else, or leave him alone. Goodbye. His shoulders slump in relief as you go. Dad? Dust is such a dry, hot season. Both suns are high in the sky, baking the usually lush autumn jungle. If there is a breeze, it's warm and, you guessed it, dusty. Your parents are up every day before dawn, which comes far too early for your liking. They're usually gone by the time you wake up and home after you're asleep, so you have to visit them at work if you want to see them. Good morning, Gooseberry, your dad greets you cheerily. Have you come to see the harvest? Your mum and I are gathering crops from actual autumnal dirt this week. Well, at least it's not human. Fair. Sure, that sounds neat. Not really. I just miss you and Mum. Sure, that sounds neat. He shows you around the row of corn and beans from Earth. They all look a little yellow and scraggly. Now, they're not what you'd expected, but your dad enthusiastically points out the vegetables ready to harvest. Don't forget, he tells you, the Autumnalia festival is coming up. There will be a talent show and a science fair. I'm sure you're eager to participate, Solace. Cal looks up at the sky, shading his eyes. I wonder when it's gonna rain again, he says. The heat doesn't bother me none, but after a while, the plants are gonna get all toasty. Wanna hear a fun nature fact? We need biology for that. We should have close to that amount, though. Oh no, we have 10. Okay. We have 1 point in organizing. Yeah, we've had that. Still need 20 preservation. We are doing... We're at 9 on toughness. That is a lot more dirt that we need to shift. So should we work on our toughness? That only gives us 1 toughness. Well, working gives us 5, I think. 3 toughness. And it also gives us a friendship with Cal. We need 20, I think? No, wait. Let me check. No, we just need 10. So one more shoveling or organizing, which we don't have anything in. We have 1 point in organizing. So if we do 1 session of sports or 1 session of shoveling, that would give us the points. Friendship points we could get are Anatomy or Cal. There are my friends. We have 7 friendship with Anemone and 11 with Cal. We have 6 with this. 8 with Tan. 2 with Mars. Dad's name is Geranium. We can't form friendships with the adults. And there's also a lot of people that we haven't met yet. We shovel because kudos. Yes. Shovel Dad. The good thing about shoveling is that you have a lot of time alone with your own thoughts. The bad thing about shoveling is that you have a lot of time alone with your own thoughts. I think the hearts are for potential romance options in the future as well. Yeah, probably. Okay. That is a full house. That's not enough points. Oh, I can remove cards. Good to know. +1 to a card, change suit to this. Wait, 2 pairs. We have +1 to a card and change suit. Wait. Oh, okay, I can just use that whenever. Use a Xeno egg. Does that use it up forever? Is it gone then? Is the question. Or can I use it ever many? I think so, yeah. Then like this. That also gives us only 11 points. Yeah, that's also what you're suggesting. Okay. This gives us the exact same amount of points. We can also push through for 5 stress. Yeah, but there has to be a solution, right? Oops. Interesting. Yeah, because it's just 2 points more that overrides the better score, I guess. Ah. I mean, we win. From the one challenge. Sometimes the cast won't let you win, but that's usually for the story-based minigame. Yeah. I mean, we got it. Udicott and the council have called a festival to celebrate life. It's time for Vertumnalia, sorry. Udicott and the council have called a festival to celebrate life here on the planet Vertumna. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear Governor Udicott's speech. In Earth's history, Udicott begins, and then clears her throat and waits for everyone to quiet down. In Earth's history, Vertumna was known as the god of seasons, change, gardens, and fruit. It's no coincidence that our forebears of the Vertumna project chose to take on such an auspicious name, in the hopes of seeding future bountiful seasons of humanity. We will continue this tradition of Vertumnalia, a midsummer festival to celebrate our Vertumna, this lush planet upon which we find ourselves today. Yawn or clap? Will this give us the first points here? I literally yawned as you read that. It's settled then. We yawn. Yes, we got a point, 5 points in rebellion. You start to tune the speeches out after that. The members of the council all get up on stage one at a time to say something. When it's your mother Flulu's turn, she announces that tonight you'll be eating some of the very first crops grown from the Vertumnan soil. Your eyes go to the feast table. Aboard the Stratosphere, it would have been mostly soy-based food from the nanoprinters, spiced up with what precious fruits and vegetables could be grown in the small growing base. This year, the Earth plants look even less robust than usual, but they're supplemented by some Vertumnan plants you've come to appreciate. Juicy potato pods and slabs of edible fungi. Udicott takes the stage after everyone in the council has said their piece. What is a festival without festivities? She asks. Professor Hell and Security Chief Red have organized a 3-part competition for the kids. Good luck, children. Which one do you join? Bot wrestling, which needs toughness, which we have enough. A talent show, which needs creativity, we have that. The science fair needs reasoning. Yeah, we also have that. I'll just watch, your competitions are dumb. It seems like the Earth plants aren't really sustainable on this planet. Maybe we need to invest more into getting into the local plants or fusing them or something. Yeah. We're doing the bot wrestling. I don't care, but bot wrestling seems good. A bot wrestling contest. This has been a classic competition for years on the ship. Someone has rigged up a hydraulic lifting bot to slowly stretch out, increasing its strength over time. The aim is to see how long you can hold it closed using any part of your body before it pops open. Anemone and Kel are competing with you. Kel doesn't like that it's a competition, but he does love bot wrestling. Wrestle the bot. It's a toughness challenge. +1 to a card. I think I'm just gonna go for the 3 ones that I have for this round. And keep the +1 for later. No, that's not... Yeah. Okay. Then we have... 2... we could have also gone for 0, 1, 2, I guess. No, we could have. We could go for 0, 1, 2 if that does anything for blue. Or just 2, 2, 1, 1 for blue. Or we just go with all blue cards, but that would have to be 1, 1, 0, 0 or 3 zeros and a 1. Honestly don't know what brings me more points. I'll go for blue. Sure. But probably this way, so that we have 2 pairs. Okay. We have... Let's start with this. +1 to card to the right. So, wait. No, wait. You back. You go back. That's 4 2s. And then another yellow. Well, that's not enough. But I don't think we can do anything better for this round. This could be a thing where we just push through. I don't think it's possible either, yeah. Let's just look at our stress, shall we? This will push us right up to 100, but not over. We also don't have to win. Do we give up or do we push through? I don't think we can win this. It did say for story challenges is not always the best choice to win. Yeah, the issue is that I skipped the first round accidentally, yes. It was not helpful. We give up? Yeah. We get a kudos anyway. From best score? Anemone's brother Kombucha is the judge and awards bonus points for technique as well as brute strength. You sit on the hydraulic bot and use your weights at first, but it wobbles too much and eventually tosses you off. Anemone uses a strong leg hold technique and lasts 30 seconds longer than you do before the bot finally escapes her grip. Combi declares her the winner. She offers you her hand, then pulls it back at the last second before running away, cackling. Maybe next year. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. During the fierce heat of dust, a few days' rest is exactly what you need. You feel refreshed. Do they just assign names from the dictionary randomly to these kids? Maybe. Mid-dust. You're looking for Cal in the garden when you nearly trip over something else. One of the younger kids, and they're blindfolded? Hey, they exclaim, ripping the blindfolds off their face and throwing it to the ground. It's Cyrus, one of Anemone's brothers. He glares at you. I was almost done. Cal jogs over and grabs Cyrus in a friendly headlock, ruffling his messy red hair. Dude, you were so close! Cyrus stamps his feet and complains that you got in his way. It's not their fault, Cal says. They didn't know we were playing a game. Give me a second. I want to teach them how to play. Cal turns to you as Cyrus leaves. Sorry, Solace, he says sheepishly. I was teaching Cyrus a new game, but he's more like an enemy than I thought. Real competitive, you know? He stoops to pick up the blindfold, brushing off the dirt. I've been trying to come up with different kinds, a game other than sports ball, he says. No winners or losers, I just want to have fun with my friends. Cal looks at you hopefully. Do you want to learn how to play? That sounds like a total waste of time, or let me check my schedule. Yes. And whatever the full name of this is has to be bad. Literally, this means bad. Yes. It is indeed bad. I can confirm from personal experience. I mean, as long as it's not dysfunctional. Which is the thing that I'm most scared of, to be honest. Dysphoria? Well, there's many bad options with this. It's not dysfunctional or dysphoria, thank you. Dystopia? Dyscalculia? Fucking hell. Yes. Only bad options. Of course we're playing the game. Let me check my schedule. Yes? Cal's smile looks like it's gonna stretch right off of his face. Radical, he shouts, jumping up and down with excitement. Okay, so first put on this blindfold. The blindfold's a little scratchy and smells like dirt. You can feel Cal's big hands on your shoulders. I'm gonna spin you around, and when I let go, you gotta listen to my instructions. We're gonna walk all the way to the cafeteria, okay? You're not. You can't see Cal's grin, but you can hear it in his voice as he spins you around and counts to 10. 1, 2, 3. First, Cal says, you gotta walk forward 10 steps. Do you follow Cal's instructions as best as you can, or make things difficult for him? Do your best or make him work for it. We're doing our best. You take 10 steps straight forward, holding your hands out for balance. The rocky dirt between the garden beds crunches under your feet. Yeah, Cal says. Now turn to your right and take 15 steps until you get to the door. We needed 10 empathy for this, and we got that, so it's good. Get it right. You turn to the right and walk forward, counting out 15 steps. When you stop, Cal laughs. You can hear his footsteps crunching behind you. I forgot how much bigger I am than you. You're like 2 more steps away. You take 2 more steps until your outstretched hands land on the warm metal of the door. Success. Awesome, Cal says. You can't help but smile. This is fun. Now hit the door button on the right and then keep walking forward until I say stop. Go really slowly, okay? You open the door and start to walk forward. The path slopes downwards, and your feet slip a little bit, even though you're moving as slowly as you can. Real dirt is nothing like the metal floor of Stratospheric. It's turbo rocky here, Cal says, and you can feel uneasiness prickle up the back of your arms. Just keep going forward slowly. Can you trust him? Or you trust him, which needs 20 empathy, which we do have. We trust him. You slowly creep down the slope to the center of the colony, somehow managing not to bump into anything. Cal cheers. Okay, now turn a little to your right and keep walking straight. We're so close. You carefully pick your way forward, stopping when you hear Mars's unmistakable voice ring across the courtyard. What are you nullheads doing? Cal tells her you're playing a game. Is that a real game? Mars scoffs. It looks like Solace is just wandering around with a scarf over their eyes. Aren't you a little old for this? Maybe she's right. We're not brave enough to say to just ignore her, so maybe she's right. Embarrassment burns in your belly as you tear off the blindfold. Blinking away tears in the sudden brightness, you can see Mars looking down her nose at you. Mars sneers, tossing her braids over her shoulder. I thought you were cooler, Solace. Let me know when you're ready to play adult games. You're not sure what she meant by that. You become aware of Cal standing behind you. Sorry, Solace, he says quietly. I guess it is kind of a silly game. You ask if he wants to get some potato juice from the cafeteria instead. You spent the afternoon brainstorming ideas for more games with no winners or losers. I don't think she was hitting on us. It was a weird thing to say. We need animals for what Dad wants from us. You still are just there for tutorial reasons, Mum. Oh, you found me. This is adjusting better than you'd expect to life on the surface. He's already found new places to hide and do whatever he does out here by himself. Does this interest you? That's just us giving him something. Dare you to eat this worm, for which we need more bravery. Yeah, that's the same thing as before. Yep, can't do that. Could be dismay. Training together. Yeah. Makes sense. You do have work tomorrow. I am really interested in seeing what happens here. Like, I'm absolutely down for playing this again next week. But yeah, let's do admin now, since we have unlocked the toughness that we need. Good night. We do admin, yes. Apply to deliver supplies. Well, I clicked the button now. We're just doing this. That is also the end of the season, I think, and then we continue next week. Chief Administrator Seek greets you at the depot. They look you up and down. Solace, you've never struck me as particularly responsible or organized, but children never are. What makes you think you'd be a good fit for the position of courier? You didn't realize there was going to be a job interview. I can carry a lot, but I am organized, which we can't say because we're not. I meant so Nihi could watch because they wanted it in the first place. Yeah, I'm sorry that I pressed the button. I'll work hard, or who cares, it's just delivering stuff. But yeah, I mean the VODs are also still there, so Nihi can definitely watch this bit also on stream. Like, on the VOD later. And we're not gonna carry on for much longer anyway. We didn't grind toughness for nothing, so I can carry a lot. Strong for your age? Maybe. But lucky for you, you're the only applicant this week. You've got the job. For now, anyway. They use their elegant stylus to note this on their holopalm. Come back in a few minutes and you can help make deliveries. Yes, there will be kudos in it for you if you do it correctly. Unlock deliver supplies in command. Which gives 2 organizing, 1 perception, 1 friendship with Mars, 5 kudos, and 10 stress. So let's just do that then. Or do we want to wait and, like... Or do we want to stop here and pick this up next week? Let's finish the season up. That also makes sense. We are 1 month away from... 2 months away from finishing the season. We're mid-season. We're mid-dust. Okay, let's do deliveries then. Deliver supplies. Seek sends you all around the colony delivering supplies. During your first week, it's mostly small things you can carry by hand or push on a little cart. Stuff like tools and electronics. Some are high priority, which means you have to move fast. Yes, the VODs are there. It's fun getting to yell, important delivery coming through, and people actually get out of the way. That gives us -3 stress for doing that. Get to work. The goal is 14. +1 to the card to the right. So we can do 3 2s again. Or 2 2s and 3 1s. I wish real life worked that way. Yes. Let's try this. 1 1 1. That works. Okay, we got 3 organizing, 1 perception, 5 kudos, and +10 stress. We're at 12 now. Late dust now. One more thing. Yeah, we still can't persuade you to listen to us. We still need more biology for that, obviously. We're not really stressed out right now, so I don't think it would be wise to go to the rec area to maybe see whether we can get this friendship up enough to talk to him. But we could definitely still do sports or class or more deliveries or more shoveling dirt. You need biology up? Yes, 20 biology, and we currently have 10. School would give us 2 biology. Yes, what do we do? If school, then also humanity or science. Probably for biology reasons. Science. This week in biology class you're learning about predators and prey. Professor Hell brings up a picture of Hopeye on the holoprojector and asks, who can tell me what special thing Hopeyes do when they see a predator? Tang's hand shoots up. They hop away very quickly. That's why we call it a Hopeye. Hell nods. That's true, but not what I was getting at. Tang stammers and looks upset, like she can't believe she got something wrong. Hell scans the class again. Anyone else? Solace? They jump with their feet. Gut feeling, need animal 10 or greater, which we don't have. They fly away, which is wrong but gets us, that's debatable. Or I don't know. Get the confidentially wrong card. Confidently, rather. Eat spinach. Yeah. They fly away? You stammer after being put on the spot and say the first thing that comes to mind. That might work, Hal smiles, but Hopeyes don't have wings. He gestures to the picture of one right in front of you on the holoprojector. You feel pretty dumb. They stump their feet to warn other Hopeye in the area, then they hop away very quickly. Why does the biology teacher look like a priest? Well, fair. You look over to see Tang smirking at you. You both got it wrong, but she still thinks she's better than you. No! We lost the point with her. Well, we got a really good card. Goal is 14. Wait, I can make a straight. Is that enough of a straight? I mean, it works. It wasn't enough of a straight, but it still worked. You worked well this month, plus 1 biology. We got 8 biology out of this. Which means we're now at 15 biology. We got the reasoning as well. And what's the next season called? Early Wet. Oh yeah, we got 5, yes. Early Wet. We're in wet season now. Right. This game is a lot of fun. I still have no idea where this is gonna go. I did not expect our best friend to die in, like, the second season of the game. But I'm very intrigued to see what else happens in this, so I'm definitely willing to play more of it. And, like, you also seem to be enjoying it, so... Next week, same time, same place. More death? No! How dare you, Mips? How dare you? Anyway, have a good night, have a good weekend, and I'll see some of you very soon. Bye-bye!